more of it.
But I'm not one of those parents that shoves her full of time or anything and sends them.
You got my email on the other issue, right?
Yeah.
That's something we'll have to discuss, maybe before you leave. Get your input to it. Directly.
Well, Dalton's looking into it. I mean,
Okay,
options. So
yeah, and that's good. Just,
he has been for a while.
but I want to get your input to it.
No problem.
Most of my time,
You're the only gullible one in the bunch.
evidently. Yeah, be ready on your committee reports, because we're probably gonna have to dilly-dally around here because of that 10 o'clock budget minutes, because there really isn't enough here.
I know, I was
We
looking at
really
it.
could be through this in 15 minutes, it wouldn't be for that.
Morning,
I
Zach.
was looking at, I was like,
Good, how are
we
you?
might have a recess before 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
We may, there really isn't much,
Steph, what's your thoughts on school going back full time?
I need to go back. It's a bigger picture than just what a lot of people think. Everyone's just concerned about the masks, but you have kids, children's mental health. You have some of those children, and there's a pretty large population in Carroll County where they depend on that school food because they're not getting fed at home. It's their safe haven. So there's a lot of DHS that hasn't been reported in the last 5 months because nobody's around those children that need that safe place. Honestly, I think they're gonna be fine. Do I think there's probably gonna be some COVID positive tests? Yep. But pull the kid out, have them stay home and continue on. I mean, otherwise our kids are gonna be so far behind academically. And then you also have, so this side of it, if they shut school down or if they would go on virtual, what do I do? Because my daughter's 6, she can't be home alone, and I can't afford to send her to Kemper plus have a tutor plus a babysitter. So I'd have to quit my job to be a teacher. And I'm not meant to be a teacher. I'm just not good at it.
Especially with your own kids.
Yeah.
You know, that's a difference. You know, like my granddaughter, youngest granddaughter, just toes the line in school. You know, whatever the teacher says, that's what goes. When she gets home, it's chaos because she's mom, you know.
I have one like that.
Mine listens to me, it's just I feel she maybe pays more attention to somebody that's not mom.
Mm-hmm.
that's.
Especially when it comes to school,
Yeah.
school stuff.
Yeah, that's just typical.
But I had it pretty easy because she was in optional kindergarten. I mean, that's stuff I can handle now. If you start getting into, I had another little girl that had to come to our house because her parents had to work. And we had to do her math homework. And she's in 2nd grade. And I don't understand the way they're doing math now. I was Googling it. I'm like, what? We have to tell a story about how 5 + 2 is what? Why do I have to tell a story about that? It's 7. Kids have to do that now. Or if it's 12 + 12, it's 10 + 10 + 2 + 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I asked my son, he's a math teacher, and he says, I allow it either way. I mean, I'm okay either way. And I said, well, I just find it's kind of ironic that we have to change the way we do math. He says, why is that? And I said, in 1969, we put a man on the moon, and you don't think there was a little math involved with that? And you think it's changed? Science changes every day. Math is always the same.
It's constant. Yeah.
And he just looked at me and says, you're right. So these guys were not dummies that put somebody up there. So,
And I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong or right. It's hard for me. I don't get, why do we have to write a paragraph about a math problem?
some kids
The
probably
answer
relate
is
to
the
it better.
answer.
Some probably do.
And I'll
They
be
see
honest.
groups instead of.
I use my calculator.
Most do.
that was the same argument that I got him and his wife involved with when they came up one weekend a couple of
We're going
years ago.
screen again. That one my daughter did.
I asked him, I
She
said,
smashed it.
so one's a math teacher and a science teacher, you know, the English. An English teacher, I said, so what about public libraries? My son says, they're gone, they're done, that's a thing of the past.
What?
Oh boy, did she go off on him. The argument started.
What's the thing in the past?
Libraries. He said everything's gonna be electronic. And the question, the thing, the statement is valid, with you on it all day long. Some people like to read hard copies, I get that. But as these younger generations become more and more and more of it, this will be less and less and less.
Yeah.
I
My
like the hard copy.
I do too.
my daughter-in-law's a librarian at a college in New York, and she says that kids cannot look stuff up.
No,
And it is college kids. You know, they just don't know.
there's no indexing anymore that, no, they,
Oh, you mean like how you go to a library to go to the,
Hard catalog.
and it shows
Yeah,
you exactly where it's at?
yeah, they have no idea.
I can
Well,
see that.
and what's even sadder is they don't care. So they just go ask for it.
it's right here. Just tap it, Google it.
Yeah, but they don't even do that. They'll just go ask.
Yeah.
You do it.
Librarian. It's your job.
They become good at passing authority jobs off.
That's the
A
love.
world full of leaders, obviously.
Yes.
So I do have to tell you a funny story about my daughter. They have her line up at Kemper Cares, and so the teacher's like, okay, get in line. And so she did, and then she went to the front. She looked right at her teacher, she goes, my mama told me she's raising a leader. I'm like, I am, honey, but you didn't. It's your teacher.
Yeah, don't tell everybody.
Stay quiet for a little while.
Morning, Gene.
Morning.
Morning, Jean.
We are up live. We are up live.
Oh, I can't tell that story then.
Well, you can. It's up to you.
I'm just joking. How's everybody this morning?
Okay. They're laying block like a madman up here.
Yeah, they are. We gonna get that, Jean?
Yeah,
We are? Are we gonna get that rain?
are we gonna get rain?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't even looked at the radar yet this morning. It's kind of overcast. I did have about a 4/10 while I was gone last week.
Yeah, you guys got a nice little shower one day. We got some sprinkles here, but it thundered off to the south. I figured you probably picked up a little snag a little bit.
Well, where we were at, they got 3/4 inch in 10 minutes.
I think that was the day I was talking to you when you were down there, so.
Yeah. Morning, Courtney.
Morning.
Morning, Neil.
Good morning.
Morning, Neil.
Morning. Make it rain.
Yeah, we need to start working on next year.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, I just got that.
For here?
Mm.
Yeah, show me the radar. It looked like it was. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
I just looked at it. It looks like it's a good cell coming in from the west.
And stuff in one of
It's up towards Sioux City.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
We had hail down in Coon the other day, and that's farmed into the overall.
Really?
Yeah. What part of it?
Morning, everyone.
Morning, gang.
Good morning.
That'd be my luck to get a different vehicle when I get
just got a new roof, but I guess I can get another one.
Yeah, you can. Well, and I've been driving my old car, because what's the point? Now the engine light's on, so I decided I probably shouldn't drive it until I get it figured out what's wrong with it.
Oh, it's just a check to make sure your engine's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got it.
I had like on a car I had, it
Yeah.
would go in, we clear it, and it was a piece that wasn't even on the car. But it was something in the computer, we cleared it. Mechanic says we have two choices, he's like,
Gene, for us, that radar doesn't mean a thing.
press it through.
One
and
second.
get
That radar doesn't mean a thing?
No,
Just
not unless it's raining, will I believe the radar.
put it over the top, but that way they didn't have to look at me that real much.
Well, the radar looks promising, I'll say
Yeah,
that.
I know. According to the radar, there have been times when, according to the radar, it should be raining outside and it's not.
Yeah,
Seen that several times in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I think so.
My wife has this one thing, it says rain starting in so many minutes, it'll tell you like 30 minutes out or an hour out. And I've heard that thing go off so many times this year.
That means if you get in your car and drive 30 minutes away, you'll get some rain.
You gotta take it. Yeah.
I hope it does rain. My daughter's doing her driver's ed thing. Spirit just drive her great.
Meteorologists can be wrong very often and still keep their job. That's an amazing occupation.
They're worse than baseball players. Baseball players are right a third of the time.
On the radio, I used to say it's a 50-50 chance. Either it will or it won't. You know, this 8% and all that stuff.
Yep.
Good. It's always 50-50.
Well, think about their forecasting for their entire viewing area, which is 150 miles by 150 miles. There's a lot of different weather that can happen in that area.
well, especially as spotty as they've been this year.
Can you guys hear Courtney pretty good? Say something, Courtney.
I didn't hear her there.
I was just moving my lips. How about now?
Yeah,
You hear it okay? Okay.
Quit messing around.
So
Can you hear me now?
the microphone's turned a different direction. I just like turn it back if you want me to.
And WHO looked like it was going to hit about noon.
My phone's at 11.
It's in Sioux City area right now. In Pocahontas. The payroll deductions. President signed it. Not taking payroll taxes out for the rest of the year. It's gonna be challenged probably in court.
I haven't seen anything come through. Our tax tables and stuff get automatic
Okay.
from our software company. We don't have to we can manually do it, but they do it automatically, so we don't ever have to worry about it.
I can see where we get caught in the trap. If you get the mandate down, we'll stop, obviously. Then it will go to court and then we'll have to have people pay it back. Yeah, I know. That's a position I don't want anybody. we'll know more by Wednesday, I'm assuming. When you put the payroll Thursday. start on it?
We've already started. We run it 2 days prior. But we're already in the we created a packet. And
Okay.
That's what we work with. We're putting in hours. Like
Yeah.
that. So that's already been done. So I don't know that we'll be able to do anything with this payroll for 30th.
Payroll tax. All right, good morning, people. We're gonna start off by doing the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
United
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Is there any changes or additions to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? Motion carries. Right, the next thing up, the minutes from August the 3rd meeting.
I thought they read well. I'll make a motion to approve them as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of minutes for August 3rd meeting. Call for the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed. Motion carries. Right, the first thing up is the payables. And Courtney, in that payables is the Shy Battery in there. I didn't look.
Oh, for matings?
Yes.
Yeah, that's in there on
Okay.
page 9.
All right. So that will be included. This was just a supplemental.
Yeah, I'd like to send you the invoice so you can see
Yep,
see where they're at.
and do appreciate that. See, we have a lot of things that we are maybe paying for there, but they're on site somewhere. I know Dries has stuff in their warehouse. And I think the electrician has stuff in his warehouse, so. Okay, any discussion on the payables this morning?
One question I had was on, I believe is reimbursement ammo for John Danner. It's a amount of $1,320. Why aren't they, conservation buying that director, or why are they buying it from an employee, that type of thing?
First of all, I don't think they can get it. Most suppliers are out. If you go to any gun store now, I believe you'll find out you can't hardly buy several different calibers.
It's my understanding that he was able to acquire some and he bought it and they're paying him back.
Okay,
So he didn't technically sell it to conservation.
okay. Did you understand that, Neil? He was
No.
he was evidently in a spot because it's so hard to get. He was somewhere, maybe at a gun show or some other gun place, and he found it, so he bought it, and it's just wanting reimbursement for it.
Okay, all right.
But it is extremely hard to get right now. Several calibers are, and they have to keep training up, so they need some calibers. They have to shoot so often.
All right, that answers my question.
Unusual times.
Yeah. Yes, they are, Dean. Did you all guys get the supplement to baiting construction payment?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. Just wanna make
Got it. And as you explained, it's materials on hand, not necessarily installed.
Correct, correct. Okay, hearing no other discussion, I'll call for the vote for the payables.
I think you need a motion first, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I suppose I should. I thought one of you guys did.
I'll make a motion to approve the payables.
I will second that. Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approving of the payables for today. Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 And opposed. Motion carries. Okay, the next thing up is the fiscal 21 substance abuse contract. This is a contract that we do yearly. Is that right, Courtney?
Yeah, and with the one where New Opportunities is the one that administers it, but, that's $3,589. It's been that amount for quite some time. So recently we did the fiscal 20 report,
Yep.
and this will be the one for the new year.
Okay.
As I understand that, it's, the county match is $10,767. And the department is giving $3,589, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's where I understand it too.
Right. And there's a lot of reports that are due, and who's reviewing those?
New Opportunities.
They're reviewing that. Okay.
Well, and they also give us a copy of the report. We just approved the fiscal year here just a couple weeks ago, right, Courtney?
Yes.
Correct.
So we do get them. We get a semi-annual and I think an annual.
All right.
It's a lot of red tape for the amount of dollars we get. I will admit that.
And that amount that we pay is based off of per capita, correct, Gene?
It's been this figure for years, and I do not know. I can't. I would assume, but I don't want to say that's for sure because I'm not real sure on that. But it's been these figures for as long as I can remember.
Any more discussion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the FY 21 substance abuse contract, the IDPH.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor of approval say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And
I
opposed?
will abstain, being I'm president of New Opportunities.
Motion carries. Thanks, Gene. The Class C liquor license for Carroll Bowl Incorporated. Any letters?
Not that I'm aware
Okay. Okay, need a motion on that.
I'll move to approve the Class C liquor license for Carroll Bowl Incorporated.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Class C liquor license for Carroll Bowl Incorporated. Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 And opposed, motion carries. Okay, the manure managements. First one is Bladen Pork, section 17 of Union. Those are updated soil samples. Blue Horizon Pork, section 10, Wheatland is a no change. EB Pork, section 27 of Roselle. Manure analysis updates. Golay Nursery, section 20 of Union is no change. Del Rey Feeder, section 6 of Ewalt is a 4-year update. Joe Danner, section 22 of Glidden, changes in the MMP crop rotation and also a 4-year update. Chung Farms, number 1, section 11 of Grant, updated with soil samples. Jerry Broik, section 14 of Washington, no change. And Odman Finisher, Section 7 of Wheatland, no change. All right, we have a 10 o'clock hearing on the budget amendment. Let's knock off some committee reports if anybody's ready to go. I can go first. I'll go ahead and go first. Wednesday, Zach and I met with we met with 3 landowners concerning a level B road. We're considering gating part of it and trying to eliminate a lot of issues with erosion. That was on Wednesday. Backing up to the Tuesday before the WIWD, I went to Denison. We met in person. We finalized the bylaws and worked on some more of our organization for the workforce development region area, whatever you would like to call it. That is moving along very good, and we should be pretty much finalized. Now the next step is to try to get our workforce board and all the parameters covered that we need to. On Friday, I had a coalition meeting at 10 via Zoom. Sounds like the county everybody's kind of doing the same thing. There's been some child care guideline changes that were kind of pretty notable, and there was some discussion about that. And then at noon, I had a statewide CEO for the workforce development again. That was statewide. They did that by Zoom. Sounds like most areas across the state are pretty much in the same steps. One is a little step too far, and now they're penalized because there's some money available and they can't get it now. Because they are already established. This was to help establish things. So that kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit there, but they'll make it good around it. That's all I had last week. This week I have the radio and paper today. Tomorrow I have the waste agency in the morning, and Thursday I have Region 12 Executive Board. So a nice quiet week.
I can go next. This last week I did the paper and radio. And then the only meeting I had was CADC, which at that meeting they went through all the commercial properties that were vacant in Carroll. And I will say that the percent of all vacant properties in Carroll is at 4.2%. Of the central business district, it's at 14.3. But they did go through the list of all the properties and then also the ones in the other communities throughout the county. Everybody's got a few buildings empty, it seems like, but there's a fine area there, or fine room there where you got to keep some that percentage available, so you always got room for somebody that's looking. But that was the total meeting last week. And then this week I have on Tuesday a policy council meeting on Tuesday evening, and then Thursday I have new opportunities board meeting. One thing I did notice that there was an email came out from ISAC in regard to CARES funding, and they did there's $100 million or $125 million that the governor's going to be putting out that came from the federal. And it looks to Peter if you clicked on that email site, I don't know if any of you did, but there's also a spot on there where it tells you how much each county and city is going to get. And it looks like, I can't get it open right now, but I think it was like we're over $250,000 that we're probably going to get for funding on that. So just for our information. And that's my week.
Yeah, as thanks for reminding everybody, Gene, about the funding, and I stopped in last week and Courtney's on top of it. She's got a good file of what we've spent and what we possibly can get back. So she's in the data collecting, gonna touch base with the department heads again and make sure that something wasn't missed, but other than that, she's on top of it.
Well, this looks like it's gonna be paid on, basically on a per capita basis. Even like all the cities are gonna get some out of this, so.
But you're only gonna get so much, and
That's right.
we wanna see where we're gonna land, I think, more than anything else. We should be over and above, but we're not at the other end yet, and I don't know if I don't know when this money will ever be distributed.
Right now, this here's at $255,652.
But
You probably got that.
no distribution dates though.
No, there was no distribution date on it, so. But you should have gotten that email. It came out last week. I think everybody should have gotten it, so. That's my week.
All right, thanks, Gene.
I can go next. My report is pretty brief. I had the Emergency Coalition meeting on Friday, and that was it for my week. Didn't have any calls or anything like that. Pretty quiet. This week I have a Conservation Board meeting tonight.
Mine will be short. Are you done, Dean?
Yep.
Thanks, Gene.
Okay. I listened to the governor's report, and Governor Reynolds did spotlight the counties one day this week. And they had the supervisor from Clay County, who's head of ISAC, talk as well, who's a good enlightenment of what counties across the state are doing due to the COVID crisis. I had no official meetings this week, and I have none scheduled next week, but the following week will be different.
And I'll go.
Thanks, Neil.
Last week, had the Emergency Coalition meeting. Rich touched base on that. My only opinion is I am a little concerned with that one spot you're talking about with the children and the 10 days off, 10 days on. Do they come back fever free? And it's different for businesses, and then it's different for daycares, and then it's different for schools. So I'd really like, hopefully they come together and all have the same plan. And then I did receive a phone call from Jamie with ISAC, and I have been selected to sit on the ISAC's Legislative Committee Board. And I called Gene about that as well. This week, today I have a daycare meeting at noon, and then tonight I have Wesco over in Denison.
Congratulations on your appointment, or we'll find out as congratulations. Okay, Courtney, do you have anything else?
No, I can kind of touch base on next week.
Yes,
if
please.
we have time.
Yeah.
Right now I have the treasurer's semi-annual report we can look at. And Nathan Summers is going to be here next week, and you probably saw the email I sent out. He thinks there's some better opportunities for the county to finance that radio project with bond dollars instead of the lease that Motorola had. When the county did that, the lease rate was more attractive than the bond rate at that time, but now things have changed. The bond rate is better, and he thinks the county can save some significant dollars by financing through bonds instead of lease with Motorola. So he wants to meet with you guys. He'll be here via Zoom, I'm guessing. And he can get into the specifics of that and maybe talk dollars. And then the board would just need to decide if you guys want to do it go that route or just continue with what we have.
One of my concerns with that, and I think I sent that out to you all, is if we do that, are we going to wind up on the end of the 10-year deal having a totally updated system? Remember with the lease, on the end of that lease, they guaranteed us a totally updated system. If we pay that off early, is that gonna affect that? That's one question that we need to get answered by someone.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna go down and visit with Jason today and see what his thoughts were on it because of that very particular piece. I wanna, I guess I don't know one way or another, when Motorola makes a change in the software, once we purchase it from them, are we always able to get that update, or do we have to pay for each update on the software? I'm assuming we probably have to pay, because very few things in life are free, but our original piece was at the end of 10 years, we would have the latest and greatest. But my question is, if we're gonna get the updated software updates no matter what, then maybe we should consider this a little harder. But I want to go down and visit with him about a couple things first.
Yeah, see if we can figure that out, because that's gonna be a big part of this for my decision.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to impact, I mean, it only makes sense. We had an option to pay for it when we got it.
Correct.
Or to lease it. And, the updates, that's part of the sales contract. That I don't think has anything to do with the lease, but I guess we can further look into that, but I guess I would not be concerned about that.
Yeah, I will have him probably make his comments in an email and get it off to you guys. So that way we're all hear what he's got to say about it.
I think Dean has it right, but Gene, you have an excellent question. I think it's important enough that we'd better get an answer on that. I do have a little difference of opinion. I think that this update does come with our lease and is not extra money. So let's ask that question right along with it.
Right. And that's something I'll have Jason contact with Ray, because he's our consultant too, and get his opinion on it too. I'm sure he'll give us one on it.
Well, I think definitely need an answer from Motorola.
I guess I recall, that there were several counties that actually did the lease thing to begin with the intention of bonding in the future.
Yep, I think that was a plan. We've heard that several times down at ISAC too.
Yeah.
So. Okay, yeah, I think if it's an opportunity to save some money, I think we should definitely look at it. Okay, anything else for you?
Stanley and Dennis got a message. I don't really have anything. I don't know if you guys want to take a recess.
Yep.
Or
Okay.
that clock up there is wrong.
Well, I also, Courtney and Mr. Chairman, I think next meeting or shortly, we need to have a discussion on our IT position. We're going to have a resignation on effective August 31st, and what will be the situation then?
Yep. That was something else I was going to do today, is visit with Carl and Dalton. Dalton is not in today. He'll be home for a little while, but while we'll get in that discussion with them, because I definitely want to hear their input to this. And once we had went through this with the IT group that came in, and they had recommended that we eventually go to 2 full-time people. And I don't know if this is the opportune time, or that can be deferred for another year or so. Those are some of the questions that I have.
Well, and I
Right.
all briefly kind of look at different options so that you guys could see what it would maybe cost. Carl might be able to help you with this. Outsourcing or in-house, or I think a big concern would be once Carl is retired and it's just Dalton.
Right.
What do you do when he wants to go on vacation?
Vacation,
You have to
holiday,
have.
yeah, and with the jail coming there, it's going to be a little.
And we've been looking into that for a little bit. So.
Okay. They've been giving it some thought, so we will get some answers. Right, Neil, we need to get that circle back as quickly as possible.
It's important enough that it merits further discussion, cannot be ignored.
Okay, the end of the year will be here soon.
Sounds good.
Believe was sort of around there anyway, so is that right,
I'm
Carl?
kind of going pokey right now. I'm going fast.
Okay, if not, I think we're gonna take a, probably about a half-hour recess, because we have a 10 o'clock budget amendment hearing. And we have no other, unless you guys have some other discussion you'd like to.
Do we want to sign out and come back in, or we just leave it live?
Doesn't matter to me. You can leave
We'll
it
just
live.
leave it live, and you can shut the video off, you
Okay, that's what I'll do.
what you need to do, and then we'll be back here about 5 minutes till 10.